Okay, I'm back. This working is for a client. So the client is involved with another guy. They have a deep friendship. It's more than a friendship. The target, I hate using that word, but I'll have to say it. The target, uh, he's a bit backwards about coming forwards. He, in my opinion, I think he really does like the client, likes him a lot, and it's just he's apprehensive about coming out. He needs that push to sort of come out, and I think he's just a bit apprehensive with regards to family, friends, and all the rest. So he needs that little bit of a shove in the right direction. So I made two dolls. They've been baptized. They're going to be bound. I called on three Goetia spirits, three spirits from the Lesser Key of Solomon, and it's going to be like a tiered spell. I called on Dantalion, basically to push into his mind, the target's mind, that he wants to be with the guy. Deep down inside, I think he wants to be with him. It's just getting him to that place. So we just need a bit of a, like I said, a bit of a push. Then we've got Salos, who, Salos will mean things. To me, Salos is very much the counselor, if that makes sense. And then Citri, because the client wants to have an aura of sexuality. He wants, he wants men to, admire him and, see him with this aura of, seduction, etc. So Citri is good for that. I was going to go down the road of Zipar, but no, Citri. So, as I said, I'm going to bind these little dolls. I I have these tiny little rings that I normally use. That's for commitment. I just thread them on some yarn. So the dolls were baptized, and I will do a video on how to baptize these dolls at a later date. There should be one on the channel, but it's probably a long time ago. So I've got my petition. I will read a little bit out to you, just so you know where we're going with this. I'm going to just summarize it. So I'm basically saying on the petition, the target is 100% attracted to the client, will give him love, loyalty, sweetness, communication. They will be eternally happy. The client or the target will be 100% faithful, and he will only be sexually active with the client, the target, that is, of course. He'll enjoy it. This is where I'm going to use the member candle, the penis candle, because I want the penis candle there because I want him to have no enjoyment with any other person, be it a male or a female, only the client. So the black penis candle is what I'm going to be using, and the will behind it is only for the actual client. So it's going to be bad for everyone else, and he will enjoy it with the client. So I'll probably, at a later date, I'd probably do a red one, just to, emphasize that. So I'm basically saying there'll be no flirting with any other people. They have eyes for each other. They're committed to each other. Their bond is deep. Let's have a look. The client also wanted obsession, and romance, sexual desire, and the client wants, an aura of charisma, etc. So I also like to write that, I said before in all my videos, they are at one spiritually, emotionally, and physically at one with each other. I like to do that. To me, that covers it from all angles. So I'm just popping them through some incense smoke. And I'm going to bind them up whilst just reinforcing what I've said there. Tie them together. And tie in 3 knots or whatever way you do it. You don't have to copy me. And the ring has fell off. Oh dear. Just slide it back on again. Actually, I'll get another one. So yeah, design your spells to suit yourself. You don't have to follow me. You can use whatever you have got. So they're going to go into this little jar here. I have sprayed them with, I can do it again, some pheromones. Again, you don't need pheromones. I have pheromones at hand. That's why I use them. I'm going to put some honey in to get them sweet to each other. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I had a spillage. So I've got it filled. I'm putting in some rose water. Great for love. That's the oil. I don't know if I've mentioned before, convince oil. If you want someone to come around to your way of thinking, that's the oil I use. A little bit of licorice root as well. Licorice root and calamus I'm going to put in as well. Very, very good for pushing someone, making them bend to your will. Along with some orris root. That's my calamus. So I'm going to get some orris root in. Okay. So hard to get these out of the jars. Some confetti. You don't need it. I like to use confetti because of the commitment aspect. Okay, where are we? Some come to me. So I should have some Follow Me Boy oil. Powder, actually. Okay. What else do I need? Some of that Love Me. Where is it? Love Me. And I have a stay. It's like a stay with me. I make these myself and I will put them on the channel. I promise I will do that soon. Okay. This is some powder that I made. It's called Peace Powder. It's just to... Oh, wow. Sorry, it's too a lot went in. That's good to smooth things over, keep tempers at bay, etc. A little bit of road opener, I like to put that in. A little bit of some red syrup. If you don't have this or anything similar to it, you don't need it. You could also put in some sugar. I think this jar is actually very sweet. Yeah. Just fill it up with a little bit more honey. Okay, and where are we? Precipitation oil. That's used for speed. Again, if you don't, these are quite hard to obtain. So if you don't have it, don't worry. You know. Magnet to keep the attraction there. Church dirt from around the church. Okay. Now I like to, because of we want them to be sexually attracted to each other, which they are already, I reckon. Some ginger and cinnamon. You could use Damiana. Something like Damiana is great. Okay. What else do I need? I think that's probably fine for the jar. Maybe some rose petals, dried rose petals. Okay, and I like to blow into them and give it a tiny shake, and that's it ready. So what I do is I'll be putting that inside a plate. Not inside a plate. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to put this on pause a moment. So yes, I've prepared a plate and I've got my candles in the shape of a triangle. I always do that when I work with 3 Goetia spirits. I like to use the triangle of manifestation. So I've got the jar in the middle here, and I'll be burning a little tea light on top of that. And these will be burnt down over a period of 5 to 7 days. The 2 at the back are black. You could use different colours. I wanted to use black for Dantalian and black for Citri, and then pink for Salos. You could use red for Citri. I'll probably do another one of these candles anyway, and I'll change the colours. You could use the colour of candle that corresponds to the actual spirit. You can find that online. It's easy to find. So yeah. So this is Salos. Again, he's for helping the relationship, mending things. Citri for the sexual attraction, and Dantalian for the swaying of thoughts. And yeah, what I normally do is when I'm burning these candles, I set the seals to side because that's a fire hazard. Those seals have been activated. I normally, it varies. Sometimes when I'm actually drawing the seal up, I'll call the spirit and I'll converse in my head with the spirit, or I'll chant the N. So if anyone wants the N, I can put it into the description as I knock the candle over. One moment till I light this. So yeah, I'll chant the N, or as I know these are printed, but I do go over them in pen, and whilst I'm going over them, I'm mentally making the petition to the spirit. So that's how it works. So yeah, I'll be lighting that up now. Actually, I'm going to put they seem to be steady enough, so I'm going to light the little tea light. You can use whatever colour you wish. This is white. I'll do a tea light every night. Then I'll start here, and I should have went clockwise, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. This is going to glare, so yeah, and I'll sit and I'll focus on that for a while. Just take the seeds away and put them under the plate. And the candles are an offering to the spirit. So yeah, that's the first part of it. I will have a few cards coming up on the situation, and I'm going to show you the member candle, the penis candle. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so this will go on a black plate. I just haven't got around to digging one out yet. So I have put on this, I have put, let's see, I've rubbed in some vinegar. I've put in some hex oil that I make, and I have put in some precipitation black powder, some chili, cayenne powder, black, cursed black salt that I have. I have black salt that I use for protection, and black salt that I have for, hexings and stuff, and some graveyard dirt. And I put pins in, 7 pins over 7 nights. So what I'm going to do is I light this up, and I'll sit with it till one of the pins falls off, and I'll do the same thing every night until that candle is burnt down. So the will behind it, the petition behind this is, like I said, for him to not enjoy his intimacy with any other person except the client. If you're using one of these candles, put the person's photograph underneath the plate. If you have any bodily fluids, even better, rub that into the candle. I've also put his name on the candle and like a little petition that he won't enjoy, like I said, intimacy with anyone else. So I'll be burning that down and we'll see how things go. That can be done, for any situation basically. And like I said, I think down the line, I think maybe a red candle or a blue one, either or, blue is calming and stuff. So, when they're together, etc., it'll have a calming effect on him. Or red, or, you can, whatever, do red and then blue, etc., just to keep things, rolling along. So that's it. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. I'm going to pull some cards, but I'm going to put you on pause again and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back for a reading, and it's actually a little bit of time has passed since I actually did the spell. So I'll get to the cards because this video is going to be really long. So these cards are just picking up on whatever is going on. So the first card, these are Wisdom of Avalon, I think they're called. They're oracle cards. Oracle cards get straight to the point. I like them a lot. So the first card out was the Owl. Can be deception, can be wisdom. And then we've got the Wind Fairy, a card of thoughts, words, intellectual analysis. Then we've got the Swan. That's all about transformation and trusting the psychic gifts. That's a good card, an interesting card too. And then we've got, fear. That really does tie in with him, I think. His fear to, come out his true self, that's what I think. That's a really good card. And then, risk. So I think we're picking up a lot on him at the minute and what's going on with him in his life. These are more oracle cards. They're the answer deck, if anyone's interested. The first card out is a dark-haired woman. That's extremely interesting because you sent me a photograph of a woman with dark hair. And then we've got patience. If you seem really good with these things, maybe inside yourself you're struggling and worrying about things coming together, but with our correspondence, you seem like a very patient person, so that's a good thing to have. Oh, okay. The lesson. When I see that card, it makes me think, like I keep saying this when I see this card, that sometimes in life things happen as a soul growth lesson, and it's like a rite of passage. We have to go through these things before we can get to the other side, and out the other end, and things will be a lot brighter. Communication, good card. Love, that's a very good card, obviously. So I did look at a few Lenormand cards. Again, these are probably picking up on the situation as it stands. Oh, right, okay. Key card is the mountain. He's finding life difficult at the minute. Excuse the noise. I don't know if any of you can hear it. There is a cat crying underneath the window where I'm at the moment. It's poor cat's been out there for about half an hour. I don't know who owns the poor wee thing, but it's been constantly crying. I think I'm going to have to go out and see what's wrong. So here's my voice, I think. Anyway, yeah. So yes, the mountain. He's finding life difficult, an uphill struggle. The book, that's a secret. that's what's making, yeah, sitting beside the anchor, I'm thinking everything to do with him and settling down in his life has to do with the secret. I think before he can settle down, the anchor's a card of settling down, in my opinion. Some people read these cards differently. This is the way I read them. The anchor, to me, that's about steadying yourself in one place in life. And because it's sitting beside the book, that's the secret. He needs to tell the people that matter about himself before he can settle down in life. And I think that's where he's at, and he's finding that difficult via this mountain card. This over here, this is strange. He's got, well, not so much him, but I see, could be either of you, the cross and the building, or not the building, the house. The cross is its endings and discord, and it sits beside the house. And the house can actually be a property, a legal building. Think hospitals, schools, courts, police stations, places like that. Something to do with legal issues, I think. So the end of something to do with that, which is strange to me. It could be the end of, I don't know, who he lives with. There could be an end of like maybe an agreement to do a house, but it's something to do with the both of you. I'm sure you'll be able to give me more information on this. I'd like to hear your take on it. So I'm thinking, or it could be the end of his life, the way he's running it at the minute. That could be his home life. That could even be it. That could be coming to an end, and the whole thing he's finding very difficult. So I'd be interested in your feedback. Apologies, you had to wait for quite a while for this video. I really apologize for that. It's been one thing after the other with me lately. I had dental surgery, and that threw me for a while and slowed down all these videos, but I'm getting it together at the moment. So it's thehouseofmagick@gmail.com. If you have any questions, please bear with me. It does take me, sometimes it can take me up to 2 days, or to get looking at your emails and getting back to you, because at the minute I'm really focusing on these videos and getting them out to people. So please bear with me. I'm trying really, really hard to shift the videos for people that are waiting. Because my videos are so long, that is the problem. If I was to do 2 or 3 people's cases in one video, it would be a lot easier. But at the same time, I don't want to do that for people. I want people to have a personal, experience, rather than just jamming it into, 3 or 4 people into one video. Of course, it would make my life a lot easier, but it's not what I want to do at this moment in time. Anyway, I think I've gone on for long enough, and I'm going to send this to the client. Again, you can find me in the comment section. Thanks to everyone for your likes. Everything else, houseofmagick@gmail.com.